Hello everybody, welcome to this video podcast, Club de Triunfadores, so Winners Club. My name is Rodrigo Lara. Today we have a very special guest here in the house. He's a very good friend of mine. He's a gladiator, he's a warrior. He pursued his dream so hard for so many years, trying to make it to the top division of football everywhere in the world. He did trials in Europe, he played in the MLS, he played in Mexico, in so many games. He has a huge adventure in football, and today he's gonna share with us his experience around the game. And I'm very delighted to introduce you to all of you, my dear friends, right now in Michigan, El Gringo, Alex Mendoza. How are you, Alex?
I'm good, Rodrigo. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for being today here in the show. How's everything now in the States?
It's going all right. Obviously, the whole world has been affected by the coronavirus, so some different guidelines and protocols to deal with. But we've been fortunate enough to be able to train normally, and I'm doing coaching now. So a lot of training sessions that we're able to do this fall, which in the future may not seem so certain. So there may be some more shutdowns coming here.
So to start this conversation, Alex, I would like to ask you if you can tell me where you start playing football, where your passion and your love for the game begins.
Yeah, so I grew up playing. I started when I was 4 years old. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, which is in the northeast part of the country. And I just played the youth football, the youth soccer clubs. And I remember very vividly in 2000, the Mexican national team came for the Olympic qualifiers, and they came to Hershey, PA. And I forget how, but my dad was asked to be the liaison, the translator for the team. And I remember since then, like, seeing these players. Rafa Marquez was part of this group, and I was just blown away by how good they were and how much they were playing for. It was so professional, just very. It was a great experience, and I think that was really what clicked for me. I really wanted to pursue something in football and to go after it. So I was very young when I had that image in my mind that I wanted to go for it. And you know, my dad is from Mexico, so almost every year we would travel there, and I could see and live the football culture, which was much different than here in America. And so I always had that passion. So I think a lot of it came from those experiences in Mexico and those roots, because you know how it is down there. It's all about football.
So we can say your dad was a huge influence in you to start playing football, and so you develop skills and you start to fall in love with the game, right?
Yes. And also, you know, I found that I was good at it, and that's when, you know, when you're young, you enjoy it the most. You're excelling, you enjoy it, and it was kind of that development part too that I fell in love with.
And now tell me, we met when you and me used to be young guys, when we used to have 16 years old. Now tell me, how do you decide to go and to try to play professional football in Mexico? We met in the Los Pumas Fuerzas Básicas, in the academy of the professional club. And why did you decide to go there, and how?
Well, there was the opportunity presented itself, and there wasn't much to decide on. I wanted to take the opportunity and see what happens, and that's when we first met. I remember the coaches. We were with Martin Reina, and I spent the summer there, and ultimately they offered me to stay. And I had a big decision to make: finish high school here in America, or leave it and, you know, finish in Mexico and start that journey. And so, as you know, the first time around, I didn't accept, and I waited one season more to rejoin. But I think it was just about taking the opportunity and understanding that here in the States, I would say for my generation of players, we didn't have as many opportunities as there are now, which is great for the young players. But I struggled to find opportunities to play at higher levels, and so this was one in Pumas, and it worked out, and so I was excited and blessed to have it.
And you had a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances to train with the first team. You trained with Tuca Ferretti and a lot of the big players in that time. How was your experience training with Tuca Ferretti in the first team of Pumas as a guy from the United States with a very low level of Spanish?
Yeah, it was challenging at first. I used to joke that because I couldn't understand what he was yelling, that it wasn't so bad. But as it went on, I started learning more Spanish, and I could understand fully. And the pressure that those guys were under and the intensity that they train at, it helped me understand what's necessary to be at that level in the first division teams. And I remember, I didn't have much time in the club, and I had just become, officially registered with the club and training, and they sent me for a few training sessions in the first team. And from, dreaming those days in your mind, and then all of a sudden it was reality. It was very special. And I remember the first day that I was with them like it was yesterday. And being from here, the States, where back then most players my age were still in high school, and I was in the first division team training. You couldn't imagine anything better.
And now tell me how the people was treating you in the club, your teammates, the coaches, in general, like the Mexican people, how they treat you, because everybody knew you were coming from the United States. And in that time, it was not very common to have players from another countries playing in youth level, So you probably was one of the first guys, foreign guys in the youth academies.
Yeah, I think I did notice it was something that I don't know if I was prepared for, or at least I should have been more prepared, was a little bit of that envy from some players, and especially in the reserve ranks, where I had this burst of success. I was, constantly in the eye of the other coaches with all the potential, and, they didn't always treat me what would seem fair, and that's okay. But it's something that, I try to express to the young kids that I coach now, that this environment, it's very competitive, and you need to be prepared. You can't always be so nice, which something I've learned, that you start to get some success, and there's a lot of people that don't like to see that. But on the other side of things, the coaches were very encouraging. I think they thought that it was unique, and they liked had a different mentality, different commitment level. And so I received, good feedback, again. And then the first team, I feel like a lot of players, they took me under their wing in a sense. They told me, hey, do this, do that, focus on this, and really help share their experiences with the younger players. And so I thought that part of it was special as well. So it was good, along with some of the bad, but overall, it really prepared me for the years to come.
Yeah, because I can imagine it's very tough and very difficult for a guy which is only 17 years old, 18 years old, far away from his home, dealing with kids and with guys. When the guys, they speak a different language with a different slang. Sometimes they can be very rude, and you're alone in Mexico. And so you need to be very strong mentally to cope with all this pressure, no? Also, inside the pitch, outside the pitch. How can you express all those feelings around that time?
It was new. It was a lot of new changes in my life, and I just learned to kind of have my guard up. Don't listen to the people that don't have the credibility to give that constructive criticism, because I feel like a lot of people, for example, inside the pitch, they start pointing fingers. Well, they're quick to point to me just because they don't like me, and I learned that doesn't matter. that doesn't matter. It's them trying to find excuses. So it was a bit of an adjustment, and I think a lot of it had to do with the humor or the way that jokes are made, and along with trying to learn the language, it was a bit of a struggle because sometimes I didn't know if people were joking or if they were serious.
And then obviously you had a fantastic experience playing in Pumas, and then you went back to the United States to play with Philadelphia Union in the MLS, which is now a completely different new experience for you, coming from the Mexican football, which is more tactical, more technical, more passing the ball, more possession. You go and play now in the MLS with guys from your born country. How is that? What is the difference between the Mexican football and the American football or soccer?
Yes, when I arrived, I had big expectations. I had a lot of hope that things were going to continue to go well. And the playing style, like you said, it's extremely different. The tactical side of things, the technique, the skill. I think, and I still believe, a lot of it is overlooked here in the States, and it's just your physical attributes that they rely on. And I think, you know, the preseasons in Mexico, you know, you do fitness a lot of time, especially the first session of the day, it's all ball, technique, playing, tactics, understanding what the coach wants you to do and how to move and all these things. And where I came here, and all the teams, they just run. We do fitness tests, we do 40-meter sprints to see how fast. And I understand the importance of it, but you know, I have a different perspective on things. I like to play with the ball. I think that here in America, if we can train to play with the ball more of the technical side of the game, it can improve much more. But yeah, just very fast, just very, very fast, little control, lots of mistakes because everyone is going as fast as they can. So it's just back and forth. And so I felt like, you know, I brought this side of the game to have order and discipline and, you know, control the pace and the times. And ultimately, you know, things didn't work out the way I wanted to, and that's the football. And I didn't spend as much time as I wanted in the top league here, but it's part of the story.
And then obviously, because you still having all this desire to really make it to the top of the game, you came to Europe. Tell me, which country did you try, which cities, and how was your experience here in Europe?
Yeah, so you know, those in the football world or community, however you want to describe, they know that, you know, you meet someone, this agent, this coach, and you start developing your circles. And someone that, you know, reached out and said, hey, this coach is here in this reserve team. And at this point, I said, I know I can play. And so I'm not afraid of how big the challenge is. So there was a club that in Romania, in Cluj, that wow. I went and did trials. I was in the reserve part of the club, did some reserve games. And, you know, I wasn't there to play in the reserve. I had my development, and I felt like I was ready to be in the top team, the first team of whichever league. So the opportunity kind of, it wasn't what I expected. Same people I was working with. I went to Greece, FC Zakynthos. I'm not even sure if that club is around anymore. It was in Segunda. It was a second division team in Greece. And I mean, yeah, it didn't work out in the football sense, but you know, I'm chasing a dream, seeing the world. The team in Greece was on an island. The team lived in a hotel on an island. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It was beautiful, and you know, we take with you the friendships and the journey you make along the way. So I was happy with the decision to go try, and then after that, I ended up in like a team of Segunda here in Los Angeles. you came and visited the one time. So
Yeah,
I had a couple seasons out there to stay fit, compete some, and try to break out to the level I was once at.
And then you play now in Las Vegas. You went to play for El Chelis, one of the big managers in the last maybe 15 years. Well, not a big manager, but I mean a kind of well-faced, recognized guy in the Mexican league. In a very good league in the USL, in a new team, in a new city, in a city where obviously they don't have the culture for football or for soccer. And I remember watching your goals on TV, and you were like making really high praise there, and people was talking about you. And how was that experience in Vegas, playing for Las Vegas?
No, it was. I think it fit the dynamic of what you would think of Las Vegas. It was like craziness in a good way, lots of big show, and it was great. I enjoyed it. It was sometimes when it came to the football, maybe we could have played better or have a better results, but Chelis is one of a kind, and he did, he made his name in Puebla, and he's just
a character.
Yeah, character. Yeah, and it was great. He's a motivator. I mean, he knew how to motivate us when things didn't go well. He also knew that old school approach, that tough love. So it was great playing for him, and I enjoyed it in Vegas. It was starting to become, like a home for me. And, in football, nothing is secure. It's just so many things play a part, so many things out of your control. And, I was playing to be there longer, and, new coaches come, and it doesn't always go your way. But great experience.
So you've been a guy who has been trying so hard, trying to pursue his dreams, working really hard with a great talent. And now you decide to move on to a different chapter in your life, to go into coaching. Tell me, how is that change of life, change of routine? Because obviously now you are not anymore the player who every day is thinking to wear his boot, to put the shin pads and train and mentally be ready for games. Now you are learning to coach players and to develop players. How is that process from the player to be a coach now?
It's I've enjoyed it. It is a bit strange being on the other side of things. And I think the challenging piece is to understand that not all of the players had the same mentality or have the same idea of the game as I do. So it's you can always learn, you can always learn. The coaches at the highest levels know that there's more to learn. So I'm in diapers now for coaching. So
like a baby.
But I think for me, I have to be more patient with the players, because for us, we say things and it's so natural for us because we played for so long.
Yeah.
And they'll look at you like, I don't understand. And I'll look back at them like, how do you not understand this? So it's a lot of patience to be had with it. But I'm excited for it. I enjoy working with the young players, especially with the players that have the big aspirations, the bigger dreams to go here in America, a good level or a good goal that they may have is to play in college in one of the universities, or if they want to play professionally. I want to be able to help train and prepare them on all sides of the game to make sure they're ready for that journey, ready for those challenges. Because I can relate. A lot of things I was just thrown into the fire. No experience, no preparation, and I had to adapt. And if I would have been better prepared, who knows if I would have been able to make that big jump to the bigger contracts.
Now tell me, where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you want to go as a coach? Do you want to stay in the States? Do you want to come to Europe maybe? Or do you want to go to Mexico to be the first American coach in La Liga in Mexico? Or where do you want to go as a coach? What's your dream?
Yes. So from that aspect things, I would say I'm still deciding because, like I mentioned, I enjoy training with the younger players that are really dedicated. They have a goal, a dream. So part of me wants to see if I can, be part of an academy, one of the professional teams, their academy, to help prepare the players. But I think any coach who says that they don't want to coach in first division is just lying to themselves, because all coaches want that. They want the big games,
money, the big money, the big contracts.
Yeah, the big money. And so which even more competitive than being a player. You were competing against only 11 spots on the field. Now there's just one coach. So I am still I think aligning my goals where I want to go with the coaching. I know I have a lot of experience to bring in and to share with the players. I think it's just about time. I just started the coaching. I've only been coaching full time for 4 months. Up until 2019, I was still playing, still active, searching for a club. Had just finished in Spain, so that part's to be continued. So maybe we'll have to do a follow-up.
Of course. I like to talk with you because I know how hard your journey has been during all these 15, 12 years trying to pursue your dream as a football player. And I really, really appreciate your hard work, your determination, and the desire inside of you to really try to follow your dreams. And that's what I want to ask you. And this is the question I normally ask to all my guests in the show. If you can tell us, if you can share with us your motivation to pursue your dreams, how can somebody follow the dreams as hard as have you been doing?
It's because it came from within me, and I think the motivation, those external factors that people see as footballers, like the money and spotlight, the commercials, the Nike shoe deal, those are just byproducts of their success, I believe. And everything that I set out to do is all intrinsic and within me. Like, I want to compete at the best level I can. I want to, we were privileged to be in a team like Pumas, and we see these guys who play in the World Cups. They play hundreds of games in first division, and when you think of the clubs, you think of them. I wanted to associate myself that I was that kind of player, representing a whole club, and it just all came within me, and I just never quit. It was just I got knocked down so many times, and it just could have been so easy just to say, I tried, and I'll do something else, but I didn't want that, because I believed. And what gave me the confidence to keep going were those times and where we started. How can I compete at this level? Well, you can, and you're going to continue, and you'll figure it out. And ultimately, the patience paid off, I think, because I finished. The last team that was at a very high level was Las Vegas, and I did well. And those triumphs, no matter how hard they come, they're a very short amount of time, sometimes even last seconds. And all the work to get there is worth it all to me.
So you have a beautiful and tough life in football, and it's been a pleasure to talk with you here, my dear friend Alex. I hope people can work so hard like you've been doing all these years, because you are an example that you never give up. Really, you never give up. You always try with all your heart, and at the end of the journey you're still happy, and that's very important.
Yes. Yeah, I learned that as the years went on, and that it's in the journey, and there's a lot of success that is within that part of it, and we can be happy. And I think just doing the best you can with what you had. And I look back and I believe I did. Yes, there was areas I could have prepared more and improved more, but I mean, I came from a town in Pennsylvania, and no one will ever know the name in Mexico if I say it, but it's just, you have those aspirations, just go for it. And that's what I tell the young players.
Amazing. Well, Alex, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you keep well, and I want to see you having a lot of success. Now, as a coach, I just want to send you a big hug and a lot of kisses to you, because I love you so much, and you are one of my best friends in football. And just please come here to London.
Will do. I hope to make the trip soon.
Perfect. Okay, my friends, that's it for this video podcast today with Alex Mendoza, an example of determination, and he never give up, try and follow his dreams. You need to be like that. Very simple. Determination and follow your dreams, and then life is gonna be way easier. My name is Rodrigo Lara. Thank you for watching this video podcast. Tomorrow we have another player who's been playing in many countries. He is right now in Spain. He played many games in Mexico, so stay tuned and watching this YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.